These are the top potential IPOs in 2022 according to Fast Company, and I've even added a few of my own picks to this list. So if you are looking to join a startup this year or a pre-IPO company before they go public so you can make millions of dollars, then this is the video that you need to watch. As always with these recaps, first I'm going to recap what's in the article so you don't have to read it if you don't want to. Then I'm going to talk about my additional picks and companies that I think you should work for this year. And then I'm going to give you my overall thoughts and analysis on each of these companies and what these industry trends can mean. So why don't we get on into it? In 2021, over 50 tech companies went IPO, and all of them are trading 20% below their highest market price. And of all of those 50 tech companies, half of them are trading at less than 50% of their highest overall value. So even though all of these employees were working at their company pre-IPO and they had the potential to make a lot of money, it doesn't always work out that way. So just make sure you are taking this overall list with a grain of salt. Now, the first company on this top IPO list for 2022 is Stripe. This company was founded over 12 years ago and currently has a market valuation of $95 billion. This is a payment processing company with over 4,000 employees and is set to IPO this year. Stripe also has huge customers right now like Amazon and DoorDash, so this is set to be one of the largest IPOs overall in history, and I personally know quite a few people who have joined this company recently and they are offering phenomenal compensation packages. The second company to talk about is Discord. So all of my gamers and streamers know exactly what this company is, but basically it's an online chat platform where you can create communities of your friends and you can talk amongst each other, video chat as well, and there's over 150 million active users every single month on Discord. To sweeten the pot, Microsoft even tried to acquire them last year for $10 billion, but the deal did not go through. They just got another round of funding, and so they are currently valued at around $15 billion. Mobileye is another company to watch. Intel actually acquired them for $15.3 billion a few years ago, but they did announce that they plan on spinning them out and having them do their own IPO this year. They are an Israeli-based autonomous driving company, and their current valuation is $50 billion. The next potential IPO this year is Impossible Foods, and I know all of the vegetarians watching this are going to be super hyped about this potential IPO. This company essentially makes plant-based meats and alternatives for vegetarians, made famous by the Impossible Burger, and their current valuation is around $10 billion. Instacart is another potential IPO and very similar to DoorDash, except it's for grocery deliveries at home. And of course, thanks to COVID and the pandemic, its overall sales have totally boomed and increased. So the current valuation is around $39 billion. Instacart currently has deals and contracts with over 600 national retailers and currently delivers to about 85% of US households, so they're doing extremely well. They were actually set to IPO in 2021, but their CEO made an announcement and a conscious decision to postpone the IPO and actually IPO in 2022, so this is going to be their big year. Airtable. This is a cloud collaboration software platform that is currently valued at around $5 billion. They have over 200,000 customers and users, some of which are really big names like Netflix and Expedia. So this is another company you're going to want to watch out for. Klarna. This web-based tool helps shoppers split their purchases into 4 interest-free payments. And they have been booming with all the online shopping that's currently happening right now. Their current user base has doubled to over 20 million customers, and they have partnerships with over 250,000 retailers and stores. Its current valuation is $45.6 billion. Next, let's talk about ThoughtSpot. This is a business intelligence and analytics tool. Their recent round of funding, their Series F, was at $100 million this November. So their current estimated valuation is $4.2 billion. And the last company that was mentioned in the article is Chime. They offered no-fee mobile banking and they got really famous last year for giving out metal credit cards. There are a lot of rumors circulating that they are going to IPO in 2022 and they currently have a $35 billion valuation. Now let's talk about my picks and choices for some of the pre-IPO companies that you should be working for this year. And the first one that I want to talk about is Databricks. They are a data and AI software-based platform with over 5,000 existing customers already today. They have over 40% of the Fortune 500 already using their platform, and they just secured a Series H round of funding. Their current valuation is around $38 billion, and I truly do think that they're going to IPO this year because I've been noticing quite a few finance and accounting jobs opening up over at Databricks. So this is definitely another company you're going to want to keep your eyes on. And the last company that may IPO this year that I don't think needs any background or explaining is Reddit. This online forum has over 50 million active users every single day that use and log into their platform. And of course, last year they got really famous and a lot of exposure thanks to the subreddit Wall Street Bets, which created a lot of controversy around the GameStop stock. This company confidentially filed paperwork with the SEC this year, and they are estimated at a $15 billion valuation, and is just a really fun and cool company to support, and I would imagine working for as well. Alright, so now we've covered all of my picks and all of Fast Company's picks for the top pre-IPO companies this year. Overall, you will probably notice that every single one of these companies, except for Impossible Foods, is a technology-based company. Because Impossible Foods is reliant on the supply chain that currently exists right now with supply chain shortages, and they produce raw materials and have manufacturing plants, etc., shipping, potential problems. This is a company that I am a little bit on just with the existing infrastructure that exists today. But I do think they potential, especially since their food and meats are actually pretty tasty. Provide a somewhat healthier alternative for lovers everywhere. Now, the other warning or trend that I want to point out is some of these companies became really popular and have gotten a lot of valuation and hype around them due to the global pandemic. For example, Instacart. I don't believe that they would have been this successful if there wasn't COVID-19 and everybody being stuck at home, afraid to go outside, and wanting to reduce the risk and exposure. So I do think that their current sales numbers, revenue forecast, and existing valuation is a little inflated in my opinion, just due to the overusage thanks to COVID-19. No one really knows if all the customers will continue to use this service once we can actually safely go outside without having the risk of COVID. So this is another company where I think you should be a little bit skeptical of, but still a potential great place to work. Now, my last piece of advice to wrap up this video that everybody should be aware of is even if you were to join a company before they go IPO and they give you either restricted stock units or stock options, even when the company goes IPO, there's usually a restricted trading window where you aren't allowed to trade shares for at least a few months after the company goes public. So keep that in mind, because if your company has a great IPO, which most companies usually rise very well on the first day, it needs to actually maintain that stock price over a few months before you can execute and share and sell all of your shares. So make sure you do believe in the company in the long run, because their stock price and valuation will need to be sustained. Otherwise, you won't actually make that much money once the company goes public. So make sure you're keeping that in mind. And as always, I don't think you should choose a company or choose a job purely based on money. However, there are some really great opportunities where people can become millionaires overnight. And so this is definitely something that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be thinking of. Why don't you put it down in the comments what company you took a chance and worked for pre-IPO that ended up being huge, so you can help inspire everybody in this Career Shakers community. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And if you find this video to be helpful, please share it with a friend and drop a like. See you in the next one.